Hi guys, Arwen here, and today I wanted to tell you my crazy manifestation story about how I ended up manifesting $5,348. So I had two cars, right? I had manifested I totally forgot about that. I manifested somebody giving me a car, but that's actually not the story that I want to tell today. The story that I want to tell today is how the second car that I had, like my old car that I had been meaning to sell, ended up getting smashed and ended up getting a check for it. So I'm now driving a Suburban, and my old car was the Crown Victoria. Well, I've been driving the Crown Victoria for like 10 years. I love that car. It was a great car. Well, earlier in the winter, it is now, what are we in, April? Okay. In December, I thought, you know what, I need to sell this Crown Victoria, but I was like, I really don't feel like it, right? I don't feel like doing anything about it right now. I thought, I'll just wait till it's warm, right? And I decided to do that because my intuition was telling me that I didn't need to deal with it, right? Like, I didn't feel the impulse or the desire to do anything about it. I didn't feel like selling it. I didn't feel like putting it on Craigslist. I didn't feel like cleaning it. Like, I didn't feel like doing anything with it. I just let the car freaking sit, which of course made the battery die, but whatever. I bought a new battery a few weeks ago, right before the car got smashed. So anyway, I decided finally a few weeks ago, okay, I'm gonna take the car, let me wash it, let me make sure I get everything out of it, let me go buy another battery, let me like get this car for sale, right? So I cleared everything out of it, I parked it across the street in the parking lot across from my house, and I left it there, and I thought, okay, you know, at the end of the week, I'll get it together, like maybe this weekend I'll take it to get it washed, whatever, so that I can take pictures and sell it. Well, on Wednesday night, I go out and I'm looking, like I park my Suburban and I look over and I see there's my car, right, my Crown Vic, and it is knocked out of its parking space like 4 freaking feet. Like it's like really far to the parking space, and it's crooked and it's like forward, and I was like, oh, somebody hit the back of my car. Great. So I get out, I walk around and look at the back of it, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I thought, did somebody push it? Like, what happened? So I walk around the front, and then I see the front left corner is smashed. Like, the bumper is smashed, the light smashed, all that. And I'm standing there, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man. I was like, great. Somebody's hit my car. Fantastic. And I was like, well, I need to put it back in the space. Well, it was snowing. So I got out my, like, snow brush, or whatever that thing is called, and I brushed off all the snow, only to find that somebody had left their business card. The guy that hit it left his card and he wrote sorry on it. And I thought, oh, thanks, universe. He took responsibility for it. So I call this guy the next day. He's super nice. And he gives me the claim number, his insurance, and all that jazz. And he's like already taken responsibility for it. And he's going to, his insurance company is of course going to fix the car. And I'm like looking at this car. Like, I love my car. And so like, I'm still referring to it as my car even though it's already been towed away. But anyway, like, I really had a lot of attachment to my car. Like, let's be real, I love cars. So anyway, I was like, okay, thanks. I called the insurance company. They told me I need to go get an estimate to get it fixed. I'm like, all right. So I take it down to the thing to get it fixed. The guy looks at it. You know, it's the place where they fix a lot of cop cars, right? Crown Victoria's a cop car, obviously. And he looks in and he goes, yeah, he goes, given the age of this car and everything, he's like, it's probably going to be totaled out just because of how much it's going to cost to fix it. It's not worth that much. You know, which is true. That car isn't worth very much. It was a very solid car. I've like hardly ever had any problems with it. It was very adequate, very drivable, nothing wrong with it. But it was old, and like old cars just aren't worth anything, obviously. So anyways, I'm talking to him and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, oh man, I have lucked out. I'm going to get a check for this car. It's going to get totaled, right? So it's a 17-year-old car. I'm thinking, Craigslist, I don't know, $1,500, $1,000, I don't really know. Like, it's a 17-year-old car. It's not worth that much, right? I was driving it because it was perfectly adequate to drive, and I wasn't really caring what I was driving. Like, I've been so focused on manifesting other things, like I haven't really cared about the car, which I think I've talked about in other videos. But anyways, the point of my story is that ends up talking to the company that does estimate, totals out the car. The next day I'm talking to the lady at the loss department, and she tells me that I'm gonna get a check for $5,348, and I was like, what? Right? Because the car's not worth that. But they had some independent appraiser because it had very low miles, like they're below sea level, and all of that, that it was worth they decided 5,000 and like $10 or something, and then they like added on money for like taxes and money for like registration and all this stuff, which came out to $5,348. And I was just like, this is awesome, right? And so within a few days I had it in my account, right? Because I chose direct deposit, and part of me wished I had just chosen the physical check just so I could like hold it up, right, or take a picture of it or something, but it was direct deposited. So anyways, the point of my story is that it was the best thing ever that happened. So let's talk about how I was a vibrational match to that, right? How did I create that in my reality? Because I wasn't specifically every day saying, universe, have someone hit my car so that I make money off the car. Like, I wasn't saying that, and I most certainly wasn't thinking that. That didn't even occur to me, okay? The first thing I was doing was I was following my intuition, right? My ego was telling me back in December, you need to sell that car. You don't need to let that car sit. You let that car sit, the battery's gonna die, right? But I ignored it, and I was like, no, I don't feel like doing anything about it, right? I know that my gut is always right. My feelings are always right. What I feel in here is always right. So I thought, I'll deal with it when it's warm. That was my authentic core desire, right? So the first thing that I did right was that I followed my desired and I followed my internal promptings, right? And my first internal prompting was don't bother with the car until it's warm. The second thing that I did regarding following my internal promptings was one day, I think it was Sunday, I decided, all right, today's the day I'm putting a new battery in it. I went and bought the battery at the auto store, came home, put it in, right, parked it across the street on Sunday, and the guy had hit me on Tuesday, and then I didn't find it till Wednesday. I just didn't notice because, I have another car and I have multiple places I can park where I live. So, yeah, I followed my internal promptings to put the battery in it on Sunday and then to move the car on Sunday, right? And I left it over there. And this is like a large parking lot. Like, I really have no idea how this guy hit me. Like, seriously, there's plenty of room. It's not like it's narrow. It's not like you have to like try not to hit stuff. Like, there's plenty of room. And luckily there wasn't a car next to me, because if there was, he would have hit multiple cars, but there wasn't, so he only hit my car, but I was a vibrational match to it, so it was perfect, right? Now, the other thing about how this happened in my reality, and I want to point this out about car accidents. I am not a vibrational match to car accidents. I decided, I think maybe 10 years ago was my last fender bender. It was very mild. But I decided no more of that. No more car accidents. Absolutely not. I just eliminated that from my field. I was like, I will not have any sort of car accident. Just not going to happen. Like, zero. Done. Nil. Zero availability for that, right? Which is another manifestation principle. When you have zero availability for something, it will not manifest. So the reason why I had zero availability for car accidents is because A, I don't want my car messed up. B, I don't want to deal with the drama. C, I don't want to be without a car, right? I don't want to be I don't want my reality to be harder because of it. And of course, obviously, I don't want to be injured either, right? So that's why I have no interest in having a car accident, and I refuse to even allow that into my reality. Well, you might say, if that's the case, then how did your car get hit? Well, I wasn't in the car, it was parked, right? So all the reasons why I don't want a car accident didn't apply, right? That's why I was able to have that manifestation in my reality, even though I have zero availability for car accidents. My car got hit because I wasn't in it. It wasn't going to take away from my life anymore in any way. I already had another car to drive. It didn't inconvenience me in the least. In fact, it added to my life and it made my life better, right? So I'm actually okay with a car accident if it adds to my life and it makes it better, right? Obviously, because that's what I got in my reality. That was what the manifestation was, right? I'm perfectly safe. My other car's perfectly safe. I have the transportation that I need and want, right? And so all of that was fine and all of that was protected. So that's how I was able to have the manifestation of a car accident while not being a vibrational match to car accidents. I hope that that makes sense to you guys, right? So the second thing that ended up contributing to my being a vibrational match to this really amazing circumstance. Like, I was so happy that my car was gonna get towed, I was gonna get a check. I was like, this is the best thing that happened all week, right? And even when I was down at the place with the guy, like, getting the estimate done on my car, he's like, I have never seen someone so excited about getting their car totaled. I was like, hey, this is the best thing that could have happened, right? He's like, usually people want their car fixed, they don't want to bother looking for a new one. And I was like, I already got another one and somebody gave it to me, right? Like, I have lucked out over here, right? But really, it's not that I lucked out, it's that this is quantum physics. Like, I was a match to these things, which is why these things happen. Before, I used to be confused because, like, bad things would happen and I'd be like, how did I manifest that, right? But now, like, understanding how the negative stuff in my life happened and how I was a vibrational match to that is also how I know how to make myself a vibrational match to the good stuff, and then I get the good stuff, right? Because it's the same quantum physics principle, whether you're manifesting stuff you want or stuff you don't want, good stuff or bad stuff, right? So, anyways, the next way that I was a vibrational match to this happening was that I've cleared all my money stuff. I have done serious deep dive on the money stuff. I am like a money manifestation pro over here, and I need to do a course about it. It's the next one that's like trying to download into my head, right? And I've got to make space for that course because it's really important. Like, one of the reasons why I'm here on the planet is to help people break down these like 3D illusional concepts that keep people in a box and stop them from living their potential, manifesting what they want, having abundance, having freedom, having what they want, like doing their purpose work, etc., 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 right? Like, I am here to help people break down those illusions and that crap and like get it out of their vibration so that they can live their purpose, they can live why they're here on the planet, and they can fully receive, right? And be the version of them in their power and really like really fulfill their purpose, like on that deeper level. And you know, it's pretty hard to do that when you have like all these constructs in the way that are like mucking it up. So anyway, that's a side tangent. But I've done all this, I've done massive amounts of vibrational work on money, being a vibrational match to money, like tearing down all the constructs, learning how to manifest money, learning how to bring it in, learning how to be a match to it, etc., etc., etc. So, you know, I am a vibrational match to like money flowing to me all the time, money flowing to me easily. Money has nothing to do with work. That's going to be a whole module whenever I get the course out, right? Money has nothing to do with work. Money has to do with vibration. It never had anything to do with work, right? And so like I've cleared all these things out of my vibration drastically, massively. They're gone, right? And I constantly, always, I'm reaffirming on a daily basis, right? Money loves me, I love money, money flows to me easily, naturally. Money makes my life easier, money makes my life better, money is uplifting everybody, money is uplifting me, money is uplifting others, and on and on and on. And so, you know, I am making myself a vibrational match to more money flowing to me easier, and etc., 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 and money having nothing to do with work. So of course I manifested a chunk of money from the car, right? Because money has nothing to do with work. I didn't do anything to get that. And you know, I had been writing into my reality, like I make more and more money each month with more ease, more flow, and from purpose, right? Money just flows to me effortlessly. Money is unlimited. Money is always coming to me, right? I'm a vibrational match to money. I'm Mrs. Moneybags, right? And also I've been writing into my reality, like, okay, I make over $10,000 a month, like money flows to me easily and naturally, right? Like I'm constantly up leveling. It's my new normal that I make over $10,000 a month. It's my new normal that I make $15,000 a month, right? Just allowing all these things to occur and happen. And so I just suddenly realized with the money from the car and the money from my tax return and then the money from the other stuff that I'm doing that I'm already making, I think I'll probably make around $12,000 for the month. And I'm like not surprised that that's going to happen, right? Because I've been writing that into my reality, right? And I now choose to make that consistent, right? I consistently make over $10,000 a month, right? Like I consistently bring in thousands and thousands of dollars a month, and I do it from ease, and I do it from grace, and I do it from purpose, right? Because these are things that I choose. These are things that I choose to make my dominant reality set and my new normal, right? Because I get to choose that. You get to choose that. But you do have to make yourself a vibrational match that if you want to choose that, which is way more than I can possibly go into in this video. Like that's a whole course. But anyway, point of my story is that, you know, I'm not surprised that the manifestation of all the money from the car came, right? It makes perfect sense based on what I am thinking, who I am being, what I'm vibrating at, what I'm emanating out into the universe, right? Of course, all the quantum particles in the universe reflected back to me what I am being, and of course, all the quantum particles in the universe reflected back to me a check for $5,000 for my car that I was probably going to sell for for $1,000 to $1,500, right? Of course that happened. I'm not surprised in the least. And the other thing that happened regarding that manifestation is that I kept thinking in my mind, I really wish I could get money from that car and I just don't have to do anything. I really wish that I could get money from that car without having to do anything. I really wish somebody would just manifest out of the woodwork and just want to buy that car and I don't have to do anything. I really wish I could get money from that car without doing anything. And I thought that over and over and over and over and over again for the past few months, right? All winter, every time I'd look at that car, I'd think that thought. But here's the key. I then did not contradict that vibration. I did not immediately think, I can't do that. I did not automatically think, well, that's not going to happen, right? I had none of those contrary thoughts. I had none of the ego thoughts that were saying, you can't do that, that's not going to work, you're never going to manifest that, right? Point of my story being, I didn't have any contradictory thoughts. I just had the pure vibration of, gee, wouldn't it be nice if I got a bunch of money for that car and I didn't have to do anything? And then I didn't think anything else about it. I would literally then think about another subject and like go on, right? So of course I manifested what I wished and what I really wanted, and that was my authentic desire. Like I really did want to just get money for that car without really doing much, right? And I consider driving the car down to the place to get the estimate and then collecting the check from State Farm not doing very much, right? Which was perfectly in my parameters of what I wanted. The point being, I was a vibrational match to that desire because I was a match to it. I wasn't offering contradictory vibration. Even though I wasn't specifically trying to manifest money out of the ethers for the car, I have all these other constructs and things that are really solid in my belief structure, my field, my morphic field, and my reality, that then, well, of course I got money from the car and it was easy. Like, I'm not surprised, right? So when you start to understand these foundational things about reality, about how to manifest, you're not surprised when cool stuff like that happens, right? Like, I mean, I was delighted, but I wasn't surprised because I understand quantum physics and I understand how the law of attraction works. And I understand how my vibration is creating my reality. And I understand how my vibrational signature is creating everything, right? And it is my process of, constantly being in my Merlin brain, in my creator brain, of constantly being the version of me that is an expert manifester, right? And doing my manifestation steps that I teach in my Manifest Like a Merlin course, and like doing them all the time and constantly making myself a match to the things that I desire and the things that I want, right? Like, I know that my desires are inevitable. I know that things are only going to get easier. I know that the whole universe is conspiring to help me and uplift me and bring me to a new state where I can then give to more people, and I can then do more teaching things that I love, and I can then do more videos and do all the things that light me on fire and make me so happy, and I can complete my purpose even more and more because everything is uplifting me and everything is helping me, right? So anyways, I wanted to share that story with you. I thought it was like the best thing since sliced bread. I was so delighted. And of course, the universe just delivers me a check out of nowhere, right? And you get to choose that. Like, you get to have that be your normal. You get to be the version of you that like constantly manifests like really cool stuff and manifests it out of the ethers, and it just shows up. And of course it does, right? As long as you make yourself a vibrational match to that and you're resonating at that, well, yeah, you're going to create that, right? Your dominant reality set, your dominant feeling set, your dominant vibration is what is creating all of these things, right? So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my other manifestation videos, and yeah, we'll see you guys later. If you want, I've got like manifestation goodies on my website, and you can see all my courses and all that jazz. Anyways, all right, bye, guys.